Hello everyone, it's Silver Pine Stables here, and today is a very exciting day because I am going to be introducing you to some of my horses. Recently, I basically sold my entire barn and started from scratch just because I was losing motivation and really needed to see some new faces. So this is actually going to be part 1 of a 2 or 3 part series as I find and breed more horses to permanently join the SPS family. Without further ado, it's time to introduce you to the first horse. I'd like you all to meet Captain, aka El Capitan. He's been with me for quite some time and is one of the horses I decided to keep when I sold the rest. He is a 13-year-old spicy little quarter horse. When I first got Captain, he wouldn't cooperate with his rider, would rush towards jumps, and was generally not safe to ride. But I guess I saw the potential in him, and after lots of dedication and consistent training, he's an entirely different horse, and I couldn't be prouder. Still spicy, but controlled now. His favorite thing to do is bomb around the Grand Prix, but we don't do that too often because it is harsh on him since he is a bit of an older horse and not necessarily built to jump high. So I mostly compete with him in the meter 30s. He just finished a very successful circuit in the Kyoto Classic and has returned home to rest for a while. I'm also thinking of competing with him in cross country or 3-day eventing, but he does need some additional training before he's ready. Captain is honestly such a powerhouse and he has so much personality. He's basically a flying potato, but it's safe to say he has definitely stolen my heart. Next up, it is my honor to introduce you to Artemis, aka the Huntress. She is an 8-year-old Swedish warmblood, and she is almost ready to become my Grand Prix contender. She also has a bit of a hot temperament. To be honest, most if not all of my horses do, just because I prefer to ride and show naturally athletic and willing horses as compared to lazier ones. Artemis is super sweet, really lovable, and totally unique. Her gentle personality makes her really fun to work with. She gets so determined, it is crazy, because when this mare focuses and gets her head in the game, she just becomes one with the wind and sky. I've honestly never seen a horse think the way she does. When she sees a jump, her demeanor gets so powerful, it's like she's literally hunting down the jumps. I guess her name is rather appropriate. Since I've owned Artemis, I've just been focusing on the basics, getting her strength and stamina built up and just getting her into an athletic shape. I really want to make sure I know her inside out since I plan to compete with her at such a high level that I do think we're definitely getting there. She has been doing incredibly well in her training and is going to be competing in her first circuit very soon. I cannot wait for her Grand Prix debut. I am so glad that I own this mare and that I am able to ride her and work with her. She is truly one of a kind. The next horse I'd like you to meet today is Donatello, aka Down with Donnie. He's one of my mini Grand Prix prospects. I do have quite a few at the moment just because I've been purchasing some younger horses that could definitely go as far as the Grand Prix if they so desire. While Donnie's debut is still quite a while away, this young stallion definitely turns heads because he stands at 19 hands high. Donnie's still rather young. He's only 5, but he has taken so well to training and is naturally well-mannered and easygoing. He's great in the arena. He's built a lot of strength and has become a lot more supple, but he is very skittish and reactive when I ride outdoors. I've been focusing solely on the basics with him just to make sure he has a really good foundation. I also want to make sure that his brain is in the right place and get him more familiar with the process of thinking through scary encounters. In other words, I really want to bomb-proof him. More recently, I've introduced Donnie to our scary obstacle courses, and let's just say he's not a huge fan. Like, at all. But all jokes aside, he really does try so hard to listen to me and is such a kind-hearted boy. Once he's more quiet and less skittish, I have a feeling he's gonna turn out to be one heck of a horse. Now, I'd like you to meet Benji, aka Red Baron. He is my little baby boy. He's just barely a 4-year-old Swedish warm blood. He hasn't been started yet, but his floaty gaits and stunning looks would definitely make him an adorable hunter. I plan to begin his training pretty soon here, but since I haven't actually worked with him yet, I can't say too much about him or his personality. I think starting him is going to be an amazing experience, and I'm definitely pumped up for what's ahead. This hunk of handsomeness is Corazon, and he doesn't have a show name yet, so feel free to leave some suggestions in the comments. Corazon is a 5-year-old 18-hand high sport horse, and he has just started jumping, but he has a lot of experience under saddle. In fact, I worked with him on the flat for quite some time because it just felt necessary to really master the art of flat work before moving on to the big stuff. However, we have hit a little bit of a stump because teaching Corazon to jump hasn't been quite as easy as I originally thought. I've learned that he is very reactive and doesn't respond well to new things. I'm still kind of experimenting with what works for him and how to help him really figure out the game. I intend to add him to my ever-growing army of Grand Prix competitors, but I really do think that with Corazon, I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I personally believe that he's just a slower learner than my other prospects, and it's just gonna take some time to get him where I want him, but in the meantime, I will continue to be patient and focus on finding methods that'll help Corazon understand what I'm asking. Moving right along, this is Jeepers, aka Jeepers Creepers. He is a Swedish warmblood and is 5, approaching 6 years old. I've had Jeepers since he was a yearling, so we've developed a pretty solid bond. He is actually the foal of a mare I used to own named Doodle, and I loved that mare with my whole heart. So when I found out about him, I checked him out, and he ended up coming home with me that same day. He'll most likely be a show jumper, but I'm not entirely sure. He is a lot like his mama, which I absolutely adore. Jeepers is so enthusiastic towards jumping, even though he's just started, and is always ready to ride and just rock and roll. He also has such a loyal heart and is so good to his riders. I've loved working with him so far, and it makes me so happy that I own him, especially since he's Doodle's colt. The bond we've developed is definitely special, and I can't wait to see what this colt emerges into. Now, this next horse just arrived about a week or so ago, but I have been keeping tabs on him for quite a while, which is why I'm so excited to introduce you to Freddy, aka Ready Freddy. Freddy is a 4-year-old Swedish warmblood, and he has just barely been started under saddle. He was imported, and both of his parents are world-renowned hunters, so he's primarily my hunter prospect, but I'm really hoping I can shape him to adapt to all 3 rings. I can tell he's going to be such an amazing horse to bring up. He is so obedient and really listens and focuses on me in a way that's so rare to see in younger horses. I'm going to be documenting the process of bringing him along, so hopefully that's something you guys will enjoy. I'm ecstatic for our future together. I truly believe we're gonna go far. It is time to hear it for the Mare of the Hour, or should I say the only mare showcased in this entire video. Meet Lorelai, aka Laid in Legacy. She is 7 years old, but was started a little later in life, so she's barely jumped, mostly by choice. This mare is the most geeky, spooky, drama queenie mare I have ever ridden, and that's definitely saying a lot. She is fully convinced these standards are going to eat her alive. Not gonna lie, Lorelai's gonna be quite the challenge for me to train. I haven't dealt with a refuser like her in a rather long time, so I am definitely a little nervous, but I think that she is just super unconfident and needs time to figure out the game and trust me a little bit more. So with her, I've kind of taken a step back from like the rigorous training that I do with my other horses, and I've just kind of focused on building some more trust. We've been going on hacks and just doing generic rides, and I'm just gonna see where that goes. I'm hoping that by building some more trust in me, she'll be a little bit more confident over jumps. She is definitely a difficult mare, but I do think that it's gonna work out in the end. Ending on the best note ever, this is Clifford, aka Footloose, but I mostly call him Cliffy. I have had him for so long and he's definitely the most well-known horse in my stable. He's basically the founding face of Silver Pine Stables. Cliffy is an off-the-track thoroughbred who is 8 years old now, but I've had him since he was 4. In 2019, he was the Green Hunter champion in the Rivera Summer Classic. To this day, he is still extremely successful in the Hunter Ring. Eventually, I want to branch out with him and potentially get him experience in the Eck Ring and Jumper Ring, but as of right now, he solely does the Hunters. He has just had a nice long break and is ready to get back at it. Honestly, his temperament is pretty mellow for being off the track. He's not necessarily lazy, but he's not like crazy either. He's super well mannered and attentive. He never peeks at jumps or refuses, but he is a little bit spooky on trails. So that is something we are still working on, but besides that, he really is just the perfect guy. He is my dream horse and I would definitely consider him to be my heart horse. Okay, so that is all for today's video. Who's your favorite so far? Let me know in the comments below. I apologize it took so long for this to come out. There were multiple roadblocks, but hey, we made it. We're here. I have a ton of newbies already, so hopefully part 2 will come out very soon, and hopefully we've learned from this video and we've learned from my mistakes and the next one won't take so long to edit. I really want to start releasing videos bi-weekly, so that is my goal. Anyway, in case you haven't already clicked away, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more SPS content. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantabulous day.